1988, Phil Pfister, an unknown strongman from Charleston, West Virginia, announced his presence on his sport's biggest stage. It was obvious that this new challenger had the size, strength, and desire to compete with the best strength athletes in the world. A few years later, Pfister made sure that everyone was aware of his ultimate goal.
I will be world's strongest man one day! I will win for America!
In 2006, after a 24-year drought, there was an American champion. Now the big man returns to his hometown with the belief that a second World's Strongest Man title is within his grasp. Phil Pfister begins his quest next. And welcome to West Virginia for the Metrics World's Strongest Man as Group 2 begins their qualifying run. I'm Todd Harris along with my colleague Bill Kazmar, the three-time champion, and the first of 6 unique tests of strength facing this group is the loading race, an event that will challenge the athletes' will as much as their power.
Todd, 4 objects are lined up 12 meters from the platforms. The athletes must carry 2 barrels that each weigh 231 pounds and the 2 sacks, which are 275 pounds apiece. The loading race is a severe trial of the athlete's endurance.
And now the first of our 2 heats, Tobias Ide, a former powerlifter from Germany, making his World's Strongest Man debut. Another rookie everyone's anxious to see is Sweden's Johannes Orho, somewhat raw but very explosive. And the final competitor in the heat is Rikard Skog, the big Norwegian. He had an impressive debut in 2007 back in Anaheim.
Take your position!
Todd, there's nothing tougher than carrying heavy objects in deep sand.
And they will be tested right off the bat. That's 231 pounds they are carrying. And look at the speed from Sweden's Johannes Orho in the middle.
Todd, that worries me. When you put out that kind of energy, it may zap you later in the race.
Once again, Orho quickly back. Now they're onto the sacks. These sacks weigh 275 pounds.
Todd, the hard part of handling these sacks is that they're stuffed so full with sand, there's no grip. They don't fold in half. There's no ears on them.
The German Ide having all kinds of problems right now. There's Rikard Skog of Norway. And there is your leader right now onto the second of the 2 sacks. Johannes Orho of Sweden looking to finish off this competition, completing Kaz. Here's the problem. Getting that up on the platform is going to be really difficult.
Orho really made a mistake without having a secure grip. Skog, on the other hand, has a firm grip and puts it on with ease.
So Rikard Skog puts up the time to beat here in heat number 1. Johannes Orho absolutely spent, as is Ide of Germany. Skog with an impressive performance as we look at the times. 3 objects for Orho, 34.97 seconds, but the man who wins heat number 1, Rikard Skog, all 4 objects, 105.32. And we move on to the second of 2 heats in the loading race, which features somewhat of interest to the people here in Charleston, West Virginia. A former winner of Britain's Strongest Man, Ole Thompson. And this is a guy that's been on the scene for the last 5 years or so, but this is his first time at the biggest event in sport. This is Poland's Sebastian Venta, the man who was runner-up to his countryman Mariusz Pudzianowski a year ago. He is unbelievable. And now for Charleston's favorite son, Phil Pfister, the 2006 World's Strongest Man champion, 37. This could be his final competition. He would love to lead the sport with a second title.
Todd, he and Sebastian are absolute giants. Look at the stride in the sand.
That's a 231-pound keg. Look at the speed of Phil Pfister, back to get the second keg of equal weight. But Sebastian Venta nearly matching his stride, Kaz.
They're both really fast. It's just a matter of how much endurance they've built up in training in the past.
Sebastian Venta in the black now in the lead. These sacks, 275 pounds.
Sebastian's got the efficiency. Pfister just manhandles it.
Pfister and Venta neck and neck. Meanwhile, Ole Thompson of England struggling. He gets the first sack on. Remember, these sacks, 275 pounds, and Venta has the lead. It looks like he may claim this one.
About to lose it, carrying it lower. This is a tight race.
Pfister is there, knocking at the door, and places a sack on. He gets the win, 55.88 seconds for West Virginia's Phil Pfister. Meanwhile, Sebastian Venta is right there, just cannot muster the strength. And Ollie Thompson of England is there as well, but he can't get it on the platform. Remember, it has to be placed on the platform before the whistle blows.
This is brutal.
And Thompson and Venta just run out of time. Phil Pfister, your winner in the loading race. Sebastian Venta will have to settle for third place, and he was so close. Ollie Thompson gets fifth. Well, Venta of Poland was in total control until the little stumble, which left the door open just a crack, and the big American came through. So the win and the 6 points that accompany it go to Phil Pfister. Ricard Skoog, the only other man to complete the course, takes second. Sebastian Venta has to settle for third. Then it's Orho, Thompson, and Ide. And the Metrics World's Strongest Man rolls on with the Keg Toss, the second of 6 events in the qualifying round for group number 2.
The kegs range from 33 to 49 pounds and need to be thrown over a 16-foot wall. The weight won't be a problem. It's the lead shot in the barrels that presents the challenge. The kegs are just tremendously awkward to handle.
Your current leader is Sebastian Venta of Poland. 6 tosses, 1 minute, 15 seconds. In second place, Tobias Ide of Germany, 3 tosses, 75 seconds. And we move on to Johannes Orho, the newcomer from Sweden. Now, he finished 4th in the loading race, so Kaz, he needs a big performance here because, as you know, points are at a premium. You need not get behind.
God, I think this guy Orho is somebody to watch for the future. He's shown tremendous potential in winning Sweden's Strongest Man.
Guys, what do you think about his technique here? He's getting to the same position every time instead of just grabbing and throwing where the kegs are.
It's good to reset and get closer to the standard. He shows tremendous whip and power, but he is losing time and backing up.
Now he's onto the final 2 kegs. These are 49 pounds apiece, and he clears it. This is the last one. And he does it. In a time of 36.80 seconds, the rookie from Sweden, Johannes Orho.
I told you I like this guy.
Johannes Orho of Sweden, 8 tosses, 36.8 seconds.
Here he is from Norway, Richard.
This is Ricard Skoog. Now, he will have to follow that awesome performance by Orho. In his second year at the World's Strongest Man, the Norwegian seems much more comfortable and confident this time. He's got to pick it up. He got second place in the loading race.
A little taller, a lot of leverage. Way too much power for the light ones.
Those first 2 kegs, though, Kaz, 33 pounds. Now he's on to the white ones. These are 37 pounds.
He's doing well, readjusting his trajectory.
And as Kaz mentioned, the weight's not the problem. It's that lead shot inside the keg. But no problem there. The 44-pound kegs up and over. Now, these are the final ones, Kaz, 49 pounds apiece.
He sure is taking his time. A miss like that is going to cost him a lot of time.
Well, he will not get the time to beat. Orho's time will stand up, but he does get the keg over on the second effort. And this is the final one. This is 49 pounds and the 16-foot barrier.
Looks like he's having fun. Just not enough power to get it up and over.
And again, trajectory being a problem, Kaz.
Got to pick the right arc. All the muscles have to fire at just the right time to put this thing up and over the platform.
Well, he's got the distance and the height. He just doesn't have the right trajectory, and he runs out of time. So 7 kegs in a time of 1 minute, 15 seconds for Ricard Skoog. Phil Pfister has been the top U.S. strongman for a decade, and the 2006 champ would love to thrill his home crowd here in Charleston one more time.
It would be great for the sport if Phil would remain active for a few more years, but if this is it, I wouldn't be surprised if the support of his hometown crowd could propel him to another title.
The mark to beat, all 8 kegs in a time of 36.80 seconds. Pfister using great form and technique, Kaz. Look how he's just picking up where they stand on a slight bobble there.
He's got a ton of power and all the leverage. He cut loose on that one.
Onto the blue kegs, they weigh 44 pounds apiece.
Taking his time after missing the white keg. He knows he's not in it for first place. He just wants to make sure he gets them all over now.
Onto the gold kegs now. They weigh 49 pounds each, up and over the 16-foot barrier. He will not beat Orho's time, but Phil Pfister now just trying to grab as many points as possible. You like this move here?
He's set to throw and unleash, and he does it.
And gets the hometown crowd on their feet. His time, 47.38 seconds.
Phil just didn't want to make any mistakes. He was very deliberate in his form and knew getting all 8 kegs was the most important thing.
And our final competitor, Ollie Thompson of England. He'll want to better his 5th place finish that he got in the first event. Johannes Orho is still the current leader here in the keg toss. The Swede's time of 36.80 seconds is the mark to beat.
Todd, I like this guy, Ollie Thompson. Look at that physique. A ton of power, and I like his prickly attitude. Kind of reminds me of myself.
Making quick work of these white kegs. They weigh 37 pounds. Now onto the blue ones, 44 pounds.
Great explosion.
And there is his first mistake. The 16-foot barrier just a little bit too much. You can hear that lead shot in there rattling around as he gets prepped to throw those.
A ton of power. It takes the athleticism to get it up and over. Everything's got to explode at just the right time.
And he is successful as he moves on now to the gold kegs. These weigh 49 pounds apiece. Now, he won't beat Johannes Orho. He'll get the victory in this, but Kaz, there's still valuable points out there.
I think he's spent. Things are over for Ollie here.
So Ollie Thompson will be credited with 6 kegs in a time of 1 minute, 15 seconds. And the man who gets the victory, Johannes Orho, being congratulated by hometown favorite Phil Pfister. So Orho gets the win, followed by Pfister. Ricard Skoog picks up valuable points in 3rd, then Vente and Thompson tie for 4th. Tobias Ide of Germany is in 6th. After 2 of 6 events, Pfister has the lead with 11 points. The 2 Scandinavians in the group, Orho of Sweden and Skoog of Norway, share 2nd. Vente is in 4th. He'll need to climb the scoreboard if he wants to claim one of the 2 spots in the final. The 3rd event for group number 2 was the truck pole. And let's show you what happened in this event. In 6th place, with a time of 109.19 seconds, Germany's Tobias Ide. In 5th place, with a time of 104.18, Ollie Thompson of England. In 4th place, Johannes Orho of Sweden, 58.10 seconds. In 3rd place, with a time of 54.41 seconds, Sebastian Vente of Poland. In 2nd place, Ricard Skoog of Norway got a time of 47.44 seconds. And winning the truck pole from America, Phil Pfister. He pulled the 50,000-pound truck over the line in an amazing time of 40.85 seconds. With a time of 40.85 seconds, West Virginia's Phil Pfister picks up his 2nd win in 3 events. Norway's Ricard Skoog gets 2nd. 3rd place goes to Sebastian Vente of Poland. 4th belongs to Sweden's Johannes Orho. Pfister's picked up 17 of a maximum 18 points to remain in the overall lead. Skoog moves into sole possession of 2nd and 3rd. It's Orho. Vente continues to struggle. He's in 4th. Then it's Thompson and Ide. The 2006 champion punched his ticket to the final, but who will join him? 4 men have a chance, but only 1 will be left standing. This is the Metrics World's Strongest Man. Waypoint of Group 2's qualifying journey. Now, the 4th of 6 events in this group is a standard measure of strength with a modern twist. This is the squat lift.
The event opens at 585 pounds. After a successful lift, an additional barrel is dropped into the basket, adding even more weight to the load. This continues until the 7th and final lift, which is 800 pounds.
Ricard Skoog entered the squat lift in 2nd place in the overall standings, but had to settle for a very disappointing 3 reps in 14.14 seconds. Tobias Ide of Germany cruised through the first 4 lifts, but could do no more. His score, 4 reps in 18.43 seconds. Up first will be Johannes Orho, the newest talent to emerge from Scandinavia. Sweden's strongest man is in 3rd place after 3 events.
Todd, when you look at Johannes, he's got pretty good-sized legs and he's solid. He should be a good squatter.
Squat! Good squat!
At starting weight 585 pounds, now it gets tricky.
Good squat!
Up to 620, now 650 in the basket.
I see him using a lot of quadriceps. He's keeping his back really upright and straight. That's great for him.
This is rep number 5, 720 pounds for Orho of Sweden, and he's successful.
Great concentration.
And he is successful at 750 pounds. This is the last rep. And it proves to be too much. So Orho, 6 reps, 32.10 seconds.
This is how we do it in freedom!
From Poland, Sebastian
Right now languishing in 4th place in the overall standing, Sebastian Venta really needs a huge performance here, Kaz.
And at 6'7", he needs more body mass to do well in this event.
Good squat.
His legs are a little bit lean.
Squat. Good squat. Squat.
Sebastian Venta successful at 650 pounds.
Squat. Good squat. Back in, back
Kaz,
in.
it looks like he's saying he's done.
He's a great athlete, but he just doesn't like to squat.
Sebastian Venta credited with 4 squats in a time of 17.41 seconds.
Look at the distance Venta has to travel from the top to the bottom. This event just doesn't favor a man who's 6'7" tall.
At 28 years of age, Ollie Thompson is making his first World's Strongest Man appearance. And Kaz, there really has been a resurgence of strength athletes from England in recent years.
Their quality of strongmen get better year after year. Guys like Felix, Terry Hollins, and Ollie Thompson are closing the gap on the Eastern Europeans who have dominated in recent years.
Good squat.
Well, the task at hand for Ollie Thompson is to better the 6 lifts and 32.10 second score, which was posted by Johannes Orho of Sweden.
From the side, check the massive quad. A nice form, flat back. He's really built a squat, Todd.
Successful at 720, this is 750. Wow, making it look easy, Kaz.
No strain on his face. Look at that. Give him another one.
Impressive performance by Ollie Thompson. 7 reps, 29.99 seconds. Well, when you have textbook form, I guess 4,800 pounds isn't much of a problem. An awesome performance gives Ollie Thompson plenty of reason to celebrate. And that will bring us to Phil Pfister, the 6th and final competitor in the squat lift. Phil's had a pair of first-place finishes along with a 2nd in the first 3 events, but this is the one event, Kaz, he is not looking forward to.
Just as we saw Sebastian Venta. 6'6" and 6'7", guys are really not made to squat.
Phil's got a nice pace going so far. Successful at 650, this will be for 685.
You know, he's been training with Brian Siders, the world record holder in powerlifting. His form has really improved.
And this is good for 750, and he's asking for the racks in. He's done. So Phil Pfister with a good run early on, but he knows his limitations. He is credited with 6 reps in a time of 24.03 seconds. Ollie Thompson wins the squat lift with 7 reps in 29.99 seconds. Both Phil Pfister and Johannes Orho completed 6 lifts, but the American takes 2nd with a faster time. 4th place belongs to Sebastian Venta. Pfister leads the way with 22 points after 4 events. Orho is in 2nd with 16. In 3rd, it's Skoog, Venta in 4th, and a return to the final for last year's runner-up is in doubt. Remember, just 2 of these men move on. The 5th event for group number 2, the axle press. And let's see what's happened so far. Currently in 4th, just 1 lift for Tobias Ide of Germany. Tied for 2nd place, it was Johannes Orho of Sweden with 7 repetitions, and Rikard Skoog also with 7 lifts. And the leader is, with 8 lifts, Ollie Thompson of England. Now to a pair of heavyweights. The pressure's on Poland's Sebastian Venta here, Kaz. He's in 4th place overall. He has serious work to do if he wants to return to the final for a 3rd straight year. Meanwhile, Phil Pfister of the United States can almost put it on cruise. He is the current overall leader here in group number 2.
Well, historically, Todd, this is a good event for both guys. It's going to be a shootout.
Reps to beat, 8 put up by Ollie Thompson of England. And both of these guys, Kaz, they have great form, great technique. What are you seeing?
Venta can't rack the bar on his shoulders. He's too muscle-bound. It's amazing that he's lean, but yet that tight. Pfister rests it across his chest and gets nice leg drive. He's got superior form.
Both men now sitting at 4. Remember, that's 300 pounds. They've got 75 seconds to get up as many reps as possible. The mark to beat, 8, put up by Ollie Thompson of England.
Todd, watch Pfister's hands. It's really not hard for him to grab that big bar. He's got the biggest hands in strongman.
Look at the press by Phil Pfister. And Venta, both men making it look easy.
It's a toy for Pfister.
So Sebastian Venta moves into the lead. Phil Pfister currently tied with Ollie Thompson at 8. And you can see just how awkward that apparatus is.
Those tires are really alive, Todd. When they hit the ground, they're all over the place.
So Phil Pfister putting the pressure on Sebastian Venta as time runs out. So we have a two-way tie. Phil Pfister, 9 repetitions in the axle press and an equal mark for Poland's Sebastian Venta. Phil Pfister and Sebastian Venta each post 9 reps and share in the victory. 8 reps gives Ollie Thompson 3rd place. Johannes Orho and Rikard Skog settle for a tie for 4th. And it's Tobias Ide alone in 6th. Pfister is still the overall leader and now has claimed one of the 2 available berths in the final. Venta's 5.5 points for sharing the win vaults him into 2nd place with 19 points. Then it's Orho, Skog, and Thompson. This is the 6th and final event for qualifying Group 2, the Atlas Stones.
Todd, overall body strength will be at a premium for this one. The athletes will need to lift the stones, which range from 220 to 400 pounds, and place them on the platforms. One slight bobble, one misstep can and will make the difference.
Tobias Ide and Phil Pfister got things started in the Atlas Stones. Pfister had already qualified for the final and didn't want to risk injury at the Atlas Stones. Never even made an attempt. Ide made short work of the first 4 before running into a roadblock in the form of a 400-pound stone. Ide's score was 4 stones in 43.24 seconds. Now it's on to the second pair, but only one has a possibility of advancing to the final. Rikard Skog of Norway is currently in 4th place in the overall standings, but still alive. By virtue of the scores in that first heat, England's Ollie Thompson needs a miracle for his final spot. Pfister's into the final, but things get interesting. Any of these men can move on. If either Venta or Orho wins the Atlas Stones, they would advance. Now, Skog is going to need some help, but there are plenty of other scenarios.
Okay, ready?
Rikard can't be thinking of that now. He's got to throw all 5 stones up and place pressure on the final 2.
Skog on the right, quickly making work of that second stone. That's 245 pounds. This one, 265.
A lot of power from Thompson.
Both men doing really well. Here it is, the 5th and final stone. This is 400 pounds. And Skog has done it. Rikard Skog in 24.92 seconds and a great performance from England's Ollie Thompson. So Rikard Skog, 5 stones, 24.92 seconds. He becomes the current leader in the Atlas Stones. Ollie Thompson, a strong performance, but he will not be moving on.
I love the way Rikard dug in and manhandled the stone, knowing he needed it to move on. And you got to respect Ollie Thompson for fighting all the way to the end.
Well, Rikard Skog has given himself a shot, so we'll see how Venta and Orho respond. Now, if the winner of this heat can beat Skog's score of 5 stones in 24.92 seconds, they'll advance to the final. If both fall short of that mark, well, we might be pulling a math major out of the crowd here at the University of Charleston, because both of these guys are very impressive, especially when it comes to the stones.
Todd, this is the kind of time that these guys live for. They know if they step up and post a fast enough time, it'll propel them into the final. I normally favor Venta in an event like this, but Orho has really shown the stuff in the events prior.
Sebastian Venta in the black now onto the 5th and final stone. This is 400 pounds. And he's done it. Sebastian Venta stops the clock at 21.05 seconds, wins the stones, and will move on into the final with Phil Pfister. And what can you say about Johannes Orho? For the rookie, a tremendous performance, but will not be moving on.
This is what the sport's all about. It was do or die for Sebastian Venta, and he came through. And as for Orho, he has nothing to be ashamed of on his first trip to the World's Strongest Man competition.
Poland's Sebastian Venta, though, the runner-up last year in Anaheim, will join Phil Pfister in qualifying for the final. 4 men in the group managed to lift all 5 stones, but it was Sebastian Venta winning with a time of 21.05 seconds. Ricard Skoog's great effort resulted in a second-place finish. It was a masterful performance for Phil Pfister. The veteran wins the group. It was a battle for Venta, but he did enough to grab the second transfer position. Skoog and Orho tied for third and showed they're 2 to watch in the future. So long from Charleston, West Virginia in the United States of America. For Bill Kazmaier, I'm Todd Harris. We'll see you next time on the Metrics World's Strongest Man.